Hey there, troopers, this is Random Game Channel, the new and updated video for the engineer class. I got some tips I want to share with you as well. Alright, so just like the other videos, I want to go over like the basics and like the class, the ability, and kind of like the loadout that you get for this class. Alright, so what is the engineer? The engineer is a class you could kind of consider as like a support class where you are able to build structures faster and better than everybody else. Well, eventually, because you have perks that will allow you to build things quicker and make them more durable. But you have to work towards those goals and unlock them through just leveling the class up. So what about the class ability? Well, the class ability is the mobile build tool, and what this class ability will do, will allow you to do is that when you activate it, you're gonna be able to build a limited amount of structures outside of the base zone. So I believe that'll be up to 4 ammo crates, an ammo stack, that's for the MGs, a twin MG emplacement, and I forgot how many, but you can also build some spotlights. And you can build up to, I think, like, I don't know, 30 short walls. So those are the, the structures that you have available for you to build. And I think you only have, like, maybe up to 1,000 ore. But we'll take a look at those details when we get to that later on in the video. Once you do use it, though, it's going to go on a cooldown, and you're going to have to let it refresh before you can start using your class ability again. And to do that on the mouse and keyboard, I think by default it's like Q for the controllers or gamepad. I'm not really sure. It might be like left bumper or something like that. But definitely check out your settings. Where would you go? Like controls or something. I don't know. I don't have a console, so I can't really tell you where exactly to look, but look into your settings. And so yeah, that's the class ability. But what about like the passive ability for the class? So it's logistician. It's basically going to allow you to carry a value gas or mineral ore canister in your backpack. So it'll allow you to still have your primary weapon or your secondary weapon that you can use to fight. Or if you're well protected and you have an escort with you, you're going to be able to carry 2 canisters, one in your backpack and one in your arms. So that's what the passive ability does. Let's talk about the primary weapons. By default, you're going to start with a flamethrower at level 1. That's the default weapon that you'll be using, and then I believe somewhere along the line you'll get the Merida Mark 1, I think level 4, and then you'll get the twin split shotgun. This is the pellet-based one. And I believe that's all you have access to. I have all this other stuff, but that's only because I fully leveled up all these weapons to like level 10. So that's why you see that I have them here. So yeah. I know a lot of people probably having some issues with the flamethrower. Like, you know, how do you stay alive with it? So what you want to do is that you find some elevated piece of terrain where the bugs can't, you know, get at you, because this thing it's not going to kill bugs right away. It's damage over time. So you want to get up somewhere high where they can't get you, and you know, depending if you're fighting with other troopers, you want to do short controlled bursts. That way you can kind of see around you, because when you let this thing rip on full auto, sometimes it's going to kind of obscure your line of sight, make it hard to see. And there's no hit marker indications on friend or foe, so it's easy to kill other troopers and the bugs, and then you become a traitor. Then you get kicked and you lose all the XP. So just be careful. You need to really work on your environmental awareness, which is basically what it basically means is like you need to be aware of like the things around you when you're using this weapon. And it was such a pain in the butt to level it up because stuff don't die right away. So yeah, that's the flamethrower. That's the only thing that you might have a little trouble with starting out. The next one is the secondary weapons, the Peacemaker and the Emancipator. So with the Peacemaker, it's a semi-automatic weapon. Shoots fast, but it doesn't really hit very hard. It doesn't really stun bugs. So what stun is like, it's just like this hidden attribute here. It used to be listed on the table. I guess, well, let's see. Yeah, it's not listed anymore. Yeah. So it used to be stagger and stun. But anyways, with the Peacemaker, it's not gonna really make the bugs like flinch noticeably, or make them flinch very noticeably. Doesn't really pack a wallop. It's pretty accurate at close range, but when you go to like medium to long range, this thing's like a dud. Doesn't really do much. But if you like to use something that's like quick and snappy, that's the thing to go with. However, what I like is using the Emancipator. For anybody that's played like Counter-Strike or like Call of Duty, there's like the Desert Eagle. You could consider it like that. This thing's like a freaking hand cannon. Great at medium and long range as well as short range. This thing hits really hard, and if you see a bug that's charging you, one shot to the bug will cause them to stop moving for a second. So that's why I like using this pistol a lot more than the Peacemaker. It does so much more. Sure, the recoil is a lot greater and shoots slower, but being able to hit a bug and stun it and hit for higher damage is a great trade-off. So yeah, let me reinstate whoops, my attachments here. So it's not vital that you follow all the same attachments. Like you'll eventually unlock it. Like the base pistol by itself, it's still very serviceable. The utilities. Alright, so it will take you a while to unlock some of them, but I'll go through each of them. The proximity bug mine, it's basically kind of like a claymore. Like, bugs come near it, it arms, it explodes. Great for defending an objective or an area. Next one is the shock beacon. This one, you just kind of place these little handheld beacons out, and they have to be within 10 meters of each other, and then anything that's within 10 meters will form like this electric fence. Anything that comes across it will be instantly stunned. Just be careful and be mindful that these things can be destroyed by explosions, both from the bugs and from troopers. Next was the ammo fabricator. This one's pretty popular because, well, everybody needs ammo, and ammo sometimes just runs out real fast. Just keep in mind it does not give you grenades or extra utilities. It's strictly just ammo for your weapons. I think by default you can deploy up to 2. This last one is the overcharge module. I don't really use this one all the time, but it's great for slapping this thing on a automated turret or a twin MG emplacement. It just makes it deal more damage and it makes it shoot faster. Just know that it doesn't last very long. It's supposed to degrade the durability of those structures, but I haven't really seen it do enough to like destroy it. And you get 3 uses. The grenades. By default you get the MX-90 grenade. I believe this is the one that you see Johnny Rico use in the movie. It's a great all well-rounded grenade. Decent damage, decent area of effect. I can't go wrong with this one. Next one is the napalm grenade. This one I don't use too often. When you use it and it explodes, it creates such a big cloud of black smoke, and like the flames just obscure line of sight like really bad. But it does kind of burn over a large area, so it can be used in a choke point, but I don't recommend using it because it just makes it so nobody can see clearly, and it's not going to stop the bugs from like charging through it to attack troopers. Next one is the chem grenade. I really like using this one. It's another damage over time grenade that kind of spills over a large area. It kind of makes this green stink cloud looking thing, and it's a great way to stack up a lot of XP for the flamethrower. At least I think it works like that, but I don't know. You just throw it out, let it fart all over the place, and it'll make it a little bit easier for you to get some kills in with the flamethrower when you're like spraying all over the place. Cool thing about this is like the poison cloud it emits, it's more translucent and it doesn't block line of sight like the napalm grenade. will do, so I like using this one. Let me get some water here. Okay. Oh, and I should say, for the utilities, you don't really have much options, but I found out that I kind of like using the shock beacon and the ammo fabricator. With a shock beacon, it's pretty versatile. You can create makeshift electrical fences. They'll help lock down an area. And they stay up for quite a long time versus like, the proximity bug mine. It's like a single use. Once it explodes, that's it. The bugs will keep coming, whereas this thing will last as long as it doesn't get blown up. And, ammo fabricator, everybody loves ammo. Can't get enough of it sometimes. So I think, these two work very well for me. The perks. First one here is the powered up build tool. It just makes it so you build and repair things faster. It's basically double the speed. Next one is magazine bandolier. This one just gives you extra magazines for your weapons and stuff. Utility satchel just give you +1 to all the utilities, so like all the stuff here. Next one is reinforced repairs. So this is going to allow you to add an extra layer of durability to any structure that you build. And it'll be like when you're trying to reinforce something, there'll be like this blue progress wheel, and you'll see that you're giving it extra durability when that comes up. Next one is refined. This is just going to allow you to speed up ore and gas extraction from the refinery. Just make sure that the refinery is at max health, and all you need to do is take your build tool out and just if you're on the mouse and keyboards, just hold down the left mouse button. On the controller gamepad, I believe it's just holding down the right trigger. You'll need to double check that because I don't really play with the controller. Alright, so the perks. The ones I think are the best ones to use are the ones here. Refined, because you speed up ore and gas extraction. You'll spend less time out in the field where it's really exposed to the bug attacks, and that'll just help the game go by quicker too, so you can continue to smash bugs. Next one is reinforced repairs. This thing can be a lifesaver because it adds an extra layer of durability. So for example, the bunker, it's already pretty hefty, but if you want to make sure it survives a heavy attack, go ahead and reinforce the durability on that. You got a wall that keeps breaking down due to bugs? Well, take out your build tool and reinforce that wall. It'll make it just a little bit more durable, which might actually, win you the game. So, I think this is, second most, best perk besides the refined one. Now, here's the other one that'll complete this trifecta, the powered up build tool. So with this thing, it's basically going to allow you to build super fast compared to all the other troopers. You'd be at 2 times the speed. So, bunker takes about 16 seconds to build. It's going to be half the time. This also works for reinforced repairs. They'll make it super quick. And Another thing I forgot to mention about like your mobile build tool and why it's so good for this class is that if you're playing on, for example, let's check it out real quick. You're playing on a horde mode. When you're in the middle of a what's this? Oh, that's cool. When you're in the middle of a wave of bugs, all the build tools are going to be disabled for this game mode. And then once the wave of bugs is completely decimated, everyone can use their build tool like they normally can. However, with the engineer, you can use your mobile build tool during the middle of a wave. So, for example, you see a wall has been destroyed, the base has been breached. Whip out your mobile build tool from your class ability, and you can repair that wall no problem. Very useful. Not a lot of people do this. I don't know if they're like aware or they're like just too busy just trying to fight. But just know that you can use your mobile build tool class ability during the middle of a horde. Only really applicable for that game mode, but it's very vital that you're aware of like that, because that can help save the game from like being a complete rout and you lose. So yeah, something to keep in mind. What else? I think that's kind of it for the basics here. So let's just take a moment now. I'm gonna go into the building tutorial, my favorite place to be when I'm doing these kind of whatchamacallits, gameplay tips video. So let's just load it in here real quick. Unknown VR simulation. I love this place. So useful. Alright, engineer. Okay. Alright, so just build this real quick. Alright, so we got that out of the way. So, normally you can like build stuff here within the base. Like anything that's green inside the base is where you can build, but you can't build outside. Sorry, I'm a little distracted with the game audio here. I'm just gonna let that roll. Okay. Alright, so it's gonna oops, wrong button. It's gonna switch back to my primary, but I want you to observe here. But what I'm gonna do is that I want to show you that you cannot use your class ability inside the base, and while you're inside the base, or you're pointing into the base build zone, you're not going to be able to use your classes or your character's personal or reserves, because for whatever reason it's going to still think you are building from the base, from inside the base here, right? So let's check it out. Let's see if I can demonstrate this. So here you go. You get 1000 ore, but when you point it inside, you see it switches to the base ore reserves. So it doesn't count for yours. See, now it goes down. And then it's a weird thing. I guess they meant to do it on purpose like that. But now, this is done. we can't build anything anymore because we ran out of time. I think the timer only gives you maybe 30 seconds to build something with your class ability. And I think it's like about a 60-second cooldown. So not a lot of time to do anything. But as you can see, what I just demonstrated was that your class ability will not count, your class abilities or reserves will not be used when you're looking into and building inside of the base, and when you're just inside the base and you're looking out. So yeah, the only reason why I bring this up is because I played a game recently where some people were just like complaining that I built the ammo crates outside of the base, but you know, we had no ore reserves for the base itself, so you know, I wanted to make sure the team had some ammo, but they're just being a little cranky about it. I don't know if they were really aware of, like, you know, what was going on. But anyways, hopefully that clears up some things for you. So the next thing I want to go over is like some quick buildable stuff that you can do with your class ability. I'm not really good at like doing things quickly, so I might need to do this a few times. But what you can do is you build what I like to call the corral. Like this will kind of force the bugs to go to these walls, or you can even do something like this. Oops, I guess you can't do that. Okay, and I wanted to make a cross here, but I ran out of ore or time. But once you build this, you don't need to build it like all the way. You could just build the blueprint of it, go back to your normal build tool, and then you could just build it. So you see this like extra light blue circle around the cursor? That's the reinforced durability thing that I was talking about. So it gives everything a little extra life. Yeah, look how fast this thing's building because we're using the powered up build tool. Alright, so let's kind of go over this stuff real quick. Why did I build these things? Alright, so the first one we built, this quick structure, which I call the corral, is because sometimes with bug pathing, meaning like, you know, how the bugs move around and how they operate, sometimes they'll attack it head on. Sometimes they'll attack it on the sides, and then sometimes they'll even go inside the mill and then they get confused about what to attack and they start attacking something. And then other times they'll walk up to it, they'll walk around, they'll go back and forward, they get really confused, and sometimes they take another lap around and then they get confused and then they start attacking, or they don't even attack at all, they just kind of sit there doing nothing. So this corral method, it confuses the hell out of the bugs. But of course sometimes they just attack it right away. So it's a nice quick build, a nice example of layering, a layering defense, which you can see in my older videos. The next one is just like a simple cross. I like to you know, think of like these kind of like defensive structures as like cheval de frise, which is basically you could think of them as like barriers that will deny movement. Originally, it was designed to halt movement of cavalry, which eventually um, evolved into like tank traps and all that. At least that's my understanding. So with this one though, uh, I thought it was kind of nice to try this out. And what happens is like the bugs will usually pick one of these panels to attack. And then, depending on the angle, you can shoot through here and you'll be safe. And once this panel, for example, if they're attacking this one, is destroyed and you're hiding behind this one, they'll usually go after, this one or even that one because it's like directly in front of them. So this one, it's nice to use. You can like pivot around. There's enough like openings here with a center porthole where you can just like blast bugs, right? With this one, it's a little harder to do because it's just like a solid line. You'll need to like fight and shoot through the middle, which can be kind of hard given your field situation and all that. Now this next one, let's just imagine that we take that away and we take that away, and so if you have your build tool open already, you won't be able to use your class ability, so you need to like switch to something else. Activating ability. Okay. So there you go. That's the thing I wanted to build. And let's see. Yeah, oops. We'll save that for later. So with this thing, it's the same idea as like the cross build, except that it has this spotlight. So why do I build this? For some reason, I think the bugs are attracted to spotlights first. So if you want to try to lure the bug somewhere, build the spotlight first and then build the short walls around it, right? Yeah, let's build this stuff up while we're at it. Okay. So the idea is that they'll attack this thing first. Sometimes they'll get confused and they'll attack one of the flaps or like these panels first, and then they'll go after it. But sometimes they'll go after it directly right away. But these things are designed to try to slow the bugs down and keep you alive. Or in this case, this one's to distract them. So another thing about the spotlight, really good to build when you're in a dark environment. I can't stress this enough. Like, you should build these things when you can. Why? Because it illuminates the field. It's a little hard to see here because it's like daylight. But when it's nighttime, you turn this sucker on, you'll see what I'm talking about. It just illuminates a large part of the field so that you're not caught unawares. So yeah. Let's destroy this stuff real quick. Okay. So in this particular build, I wanted to demonstrate that there's a couple of ways that you can build around a large area that you want to defend. Like, for example, a refinery, like that. Or a beacon that you need to hold and activate. For example, like, a side mission. So there's a few ways that you can build. One of them is going to be what I like to call the L shape defensive build. Great to use if like you trying to build something super quick and you have like a wall next to you, like this cliff, or if you want to have one side open where people can come in and out rather easily. Now the next one that you can do is I need some more room around here. Let's deconstruct this. To deconstruct a structure for the mouse and keyboard, hold down the right mouse button. On the gamepad controller, I think maybe it's holding down the left trigger. You'll need to double check that because I don't play with it very often. Next thing you want to look into building as like a quick defensive structure is, let's see if I can do this. Oops. Nope. It's this one, and then okay. I believe that's it. So now let's actually build it now that we got the actual footprint of this design up. So having the reinforced repair tool and the improved build tool make it so that you build these things faster and stronger. Very essential if you need to do this out in the field where it's easy to get gulped by the bugs. So with this quick build method, I like to call this one the box method because it's almost like the shape of like a box. So this one, it can be a little dangerous to fight in here because you're essentially boxing yourself in, like, what we can see here. But it's great to maybe consider because you have, essentially 3 walls around you to protect yourself with. Again, great for defending refineries or scan beacons, not scan beacons, but like beacons, point objective missions, things like that. This will just slow the bugs down enough where people can just like lay down suppressive fire on the bugs long enough for you guys to survive, right? So that's one quick thing that you can build. Okay. So this last one, let's build it up, build it up. Alright, this one's nifty because, let's see if I can do it right. Nope. There we go. And then for good measure, alright, so this essentially turns this into a mini electrical fence. You can just use the shock beacons by themselves, but why not do it on a short wall? It gives you cover from gunners, and should the bugs keep coming, because this isn't gonna, stun them permanently, they will move on once they're done being stunned. They're going to have to mess around and destroy these short walls in order to get to you. So this is a nice, quick and easy way to kind of just, build something fast, effective, and easy to defend. I don't think you can destroy these, but like with an explosion, you definitely can. I don't know if that'll count. No. But as you can see, this is the chem grenade, and you can see through it. Unlike the napalm grenade, you can't see nothing. Quick tangent, this is what the flamethrower looks like when you're on full auto. It can obscure your line of sight a little bit, especially if you're like flaming something close range. Look at that, you can't really see too well. But the shock beacon thing can be applied to any of these like defensive structures that we built here that I've shown you just now. Okay. Next thing is how far can you be in order to use your build tool while you're utilizing I forgot what the perk was called. What was it called? But anyways, maybe we can quit the menu real quick to check. So I want to double check if like I got this right. So let's just spend a second here. Okay, so let me see. What allowed you to build further? Increase the rate in which you can build and repair. Make it more durable. Huh. I don't know what. Maybe I was thinking about this wrong, but I always thought that the engineer had a longer distance that they can use the repair tool on, or the build tool on. Maybe it's like a thing they don't really mention anymore. Which I'm kind of curious now. Like, what if we went in with just another class that's not the engineer? Because my understanding was that the engineers can be further away from something before they can, be further away from a structure to build or repair it. I guess that was trying to say. Let's go with my favorite class, the medic. Okay, so it's a good point of reference. Alright, gotta be that close. Seven meters. So normal trooper will will have to be 7 meters away. Or even 6 meters. Looks like 6 meters to build and repair. Okay. Oh, I can't ping in here? Oh, lame. Okay, so I was trying to ping it, so like when you ping something, it'll give you in meters how far away you are from whatever you ping. But at least with a mobile HQ, looks like a normal trooper has to be 6 meters. What about the engineer? Let's check it out. Let me get some more water. Okay, engineer, we're going in. Okay, let's see. We're gonna walk up to this thing. Oh, okay, here we go, here we go. So, you can be 23 meters away from something to build, repair, deconstruct. Pretty cool. Okay. Alright. I mean, if it's anything, we can kind of get a gauge for this. I mean, this thing is a little bit closer, keep that in mind, but as you can see with the engineer, you can be pretty far away for building, deconstructing, repairing. So that's pretty cool, right? So that's another gameplay tip. That one was unexpected. But I want to show you something here. It's always good to be cautious when you're trying to fight the bugs. Even in here, this data pad from the landing pad that I dropped off in, Arachnids enable. So climb up this thing. I think to get it to work, I think you need to build the refinery in order for them to work. So let's do that. And turn that sucker on. You can hear the bugs are coming in now. Alright, controlled environment. So with these bugs, you want to fight from elevated terrain. You can do short controlled bursts, or you can just set them on fire with full auto. Okay. But look how much damage they did to this. Normally, that'd be half of the actual durability. But with reinforced repairs, you see they're having to chip away at the extra layer durability that you made. Wow, they're really going to town. But with your reinforced repairs, and I always get the names mixed up. Reinforced repair is the extra durability thing, but the improved build tool, check this out. They work together pretty closely. You can just sit here, and most of the times you're going to be able to keep up with the damage that these bugs will do to a structure. Like a tiger does significant amount of damage all at once, and you can quickly repair whatever they just hit reliably. So, let's just take a look again. They're chipping away at it. You can see that the blue health bar is going away. I mean, they're only drones, but demonstration purposes, right? Look at this. Repaired almost instantaneously. Pretty cool, right? Is there a way to turn that off? Like, I don't want to concentrate on this anymore. Well, anyways, there used to be a threat level progress tracker in the top right corner of the screen, but not anymore. Look at that. Repaired almost instantly. So when you're fighting on the ground, basically just want to turn this thing on full auto. Don't even bother burst firing this thing. Which leads me to I think might be my last gameplay tip. Bug corpses. Most times you'll see people destroying these things. Why? Because it blocks line of sight for all troopers, including automated turrets. So you want to destroy these things with your melee. Drones are usually one hit. With the engineer, you have access to your shovel as your melee, which you can see here. They're the only ones that can use it. Other troopers will only have access to the knife. Sometimes you'll get a mace, but that's only from forget, they're not called mutators, but like sometimes maybe they are called mutators still. But sometimes when you load into mission, you'll be able to equip one automatically. But with the shovel, I believe it's like a one hit to any bug corpse to destroy it. Easy. The knife, it takes a little bit longer. Now with the flamethrower, you can get rid of these things a lot quicker. Though the hitbox can be finicky, like we've seen. The other thing that you can do, I don't have any explosives with me, because I forgot I'm not playing as the Demolisher. So we can disregard that for now. But let's try to clean up these three right here with the flamethrower. Sometimes it's burst fire, sometimes you need to hold it down. Like I think the bug corpses have like a certain threshold of durability like anything else before they blow up into little bits. But that's bug corpses. Make sure that you destroy them. It's cool for a picture or a meme, but you know, when the bug corpses get as tall as a bunker and then the bugs start walking on top of the bunker to eat the troopers, you'll probably be singing a different tune. So the bugs can climb up and over their fallen comrades, and you can do the same with the bug corpses. You can climb up and over them, but once they start stacking up higher and higher and they can get inside the base, it's going to make it a lot harder to defend the base. So make sure you're doing your duty as an engineer to clean up the bug corpses. Very important. It's not glamorous, you don't get XP, at least not as of yet, but it's important you do that because you're supporting the team and keeping the base free of the bugs. Okay. To get more bugs, I don't really know. Maybe you need to grab the ore. So if you press 1 where you switch to a different weapon, you'll see that number 6 pops up in my UI icon. And that's showing you that the whatchamacallit, the canister is in your backpack. So if I do this, and I whip out the build tool, it's going to make this thing go faster. Uh-oh, the bugs are back, so that's how you get more bugs. See, flamethrower, you want full auto on this thing when you can, because it's not going to stop the bug from, like, charging you. So, see, now you got 2 ore canisters, one in your backpack, one in... Get off. See, even in the training simulator, they're deadly. That's why I'm paranoid and I turn around a lot. And they can and will destroy the canisters. But as you can see, I had one in my backpack, and I had one in my hands. Great way to transport a lot of cans all at once. Whoa, whoa, my frames! What the hell? Okay, that was weird. I had some severe frame issues there. So, just light the bugs on fire. It's good to do burst fire when you're fighting from elevated terrain, because it doesn't matter who lands the killing blow on the bug. As long as you damaged it with your flamethrower, you'll get the full XP. And this is how you clean up bug corpses from an elevated position. Look at that. They're coming towards me. This is why it's deadly to fight on the ground with the flamethrower. Because even a drone can mess you up real bad. Look at that. I left it alone for so long with the full layer of extra durability. And they only managed to bring it down to halfway of the actual base durability. Not bad. So I guess to get more bugs, you just get more canisters, and you can start killing more of them that way. But let me double check my buffer account here. I had my notes in there about what I wanted to go over. So let me check that real quick. Oh, okay. Oops. Oops, hold on. Oh, yeah, I forgot about talking about the flamethrower tips on how to get XP for it quicker. But this can be applied to any weapon. And we'll talk about other weapons that work well with the engineer once you have them fully leveled up. Alright, so where's the game client? Okay. So let's just kind of exit out of here. Alright, so just 2 more tips here. Where was the engineer? Here we go. So, actually, let's look at this. So have a list of game modes that you can try to get XP from quickly. And what I want you to realize is that the XP that will count towards leveling up your weapon is bug kills. So anything else like side missions, things like that, it's not going to count towards the actual weapon itself. So you might get for example, 5,000 total XP. But how much of that actually came from killing bugs? Bug kill XP count towards weapon level. So a quick way to get XP is by going hive hunting. They're short. They can be a little hard to do on extraction, but what's great about hive hunt is that there's a lot of eggs that you can destroy in these game modes, and I believe each egg gives you 2 XP. So within a given round of hive hunt, I've been able to collect, maybe 2 to 3, maybe even 400 egg kills, and times that by 2, you're looking at a lot of like XP. So that's a great quick method to get XP for the weapons. Next one is going to be Horde mode. This is basically survival with base building. Why is this great? Because you're just building a base and the bugs will come to you. You don't have to go searching for them. You just sit on top of a choke point and you let the bugs come to you. You cook them. The next one is Arc. Now, the only reason why I recommend Arc is because the game mode can last quite a while, usually 45 to an hour, 45 minutes to maybe an hour plus, depending on the speed of the troopers and getting the missions done, and if no one's like goofing around. It's just a bunch of game time to allow you to kill more bugs, and there's a base component to it, like base building, but the only reason you'll get more XP is just because the game mode is a lot longer than the other ones. And the last one I do not recommend is Advanced and Secure, because you're going to be moving a lot in the open field, and the open field is not good for the flamethrower, because as we saw in the training simulator, even when they're not charging you, like the bugs aren't charging you, they're still advancing towards you. They're not stunned, they're not staggered, they're going to come at you at full force. And that's the problem with Advanced and Secure. A lot of the times you're going to be out in the open, right? Because you're advancing and you're securing the field. That's why they call it Advanced and Secure. At the end, though, when you complete your missions, you have a base building thing, but like even then, it doesn't last very long. So you getting weapon XP through here isn't really good for the flamethrower, at least in my opinion. Other people probably have different opinions and they can use it better than I can, but as a dum-dum like me that doesn't really use it very well, that's the one I do not recommend leveling up in. Okay, but let's talk about weapons, primary weapons, when you got stuff that's fully unlocked. So the one I like using a lot is the Merida Hawkeye. This is a semi-automatic marksman rifle. As an engineer, I don't really expect myself to be like in the heat of the combat on the front lines, because the engineer is kind of like a support class. I like to hang back a little bit and try to keep an eye on the base, make sure things are fully prepared and in good order. And in order to do that, I need something kind of mid to long range, where I don't have to be like on the front wall where the bugs are attacking. I can be like off to the side. This thing's great for that because it's the marksman rifle. The next one I like to use is here, the shotgun. Oh, not the auto, not the slug. but the one that comes naturally to the class, it stuns bugs in one hit from like close to mid range. This one's great. The only reason why I don't always recommend it is because it's pump action and there's no mag. You know, feed it through this tube here, through the side and underneath. Takes a long time to reload. But if you're looking for a automatic weapon, you can't go wrong with the Marita. That's native to any class. But if you want something, let's see, I think this does less damage. But if you want something that shoots pretty quick, I recommend using the carbine. Like, looking at the stats, it's like you're dealing less damage, you're dealing less stagger, the range is shorter, obviously, because it's a carbine. This is a full-blown automatic rifle. Well, assault rifle, really. But look at this here. The amount of bullets you can shoot out is a lot faster than the Marita. So if you want to do a bit of run and gun kind of thing, being a little more aggressive in your gameplay, carbine might be something you want to consider. This other stuff, I don't really fool around with too much for this class. The grenade launcher is cool and all, but it takes forever to reload. Good to clear up a wall really fast, because this thing can kill a warrior in 1 to 2 hits. But other than that, those are the weapons I would recommend using once you have them unlocked. Hopefully the flamethrower doesn't take you too long to max level, if you want to max level it. I want to show you something funny. I had to, play the engineer class so much that it's clocked in at 48.2 hours. It's not because I actually like it, it's because it took me that long to finally max level this damn weapon. Of course I've used it since then, but as you can see here, it's taken me a long time to get this thing max leveled. My favorite class is actually Medic, which I hope will eventually show here. But yeah, folks, hopefully that is helpful to you. I'll try to put timestamps in the video so you can jump around, skip things that you don't need. And yeah. Alright, troopers. That's enough talking for now. Hopefully that helps clear things up. Because when I first started, I didn't know nothing. Nobody was telling me nothing. It was just figure it out on your own. So hopefully I can make this a smoother process for you to get up to speed and enjoy playing this class a lot faster than I did. Because when I first started, this was my least favorite class. This is one of the classes I hated the most when I first started playing, when they did the class revamps. But yeah, this one's okay for me now. I'm alright with it. Well, that's enough for me, folks, really. Thanks for sticking around for this long, if you have been. Really appreciate it. If you really like this video and you see my other gameplay tips videos, definitely, like the video, leave a comment about what you liked, what you didn't like. It's all good. And maybe even subscribing to the channel. Tell your friends about me. Because I really enjoy playing this game, and I don't really see anybody doing a whole bunch of tips videos the way that I do it. They just say, here's this cool build. but they don't really tell you how to play the class and how things work, right? So hopefully you subscribe, you like, and you comment. I really appreciate the support. And hoping to make a couple more videos for tips and stuff. One will be for game controller and PC settings. I'm going to try to explore how the game controller works. Kudos to all the console players that are using it, because I'd only tried it a couple times and I didn't like it. And I forgot what my other tips video was for, but I think I had one more. But until then, folks, have a good one. Have a good day, evening, and I'll see you in the field, troopers.